Alright guys, we're going to try something new. Yeah, this is my refrigerator. I'm going to use it as the whiteboard. I'm going to be giving you a little bit more information today about the quotient rule. Remember what the quotient rule says. The quotient rule says that if you have a to the x divided by a to the y, okay, then that's the same as saying a to the x minus y. Right? That's the quotient rule. You might also see that written like this. We need to remember that this means division, just like the division symbol. I'm having a hard time putting in Google Forms doing it this way, so I'm having to use like the word division. I'm still trying to find something to let me type math in there. I cannot get the equatio. I'm really working on that, so I'm hoping to have that in the future. So last time we talked about simplifying. This time I want to talk about evaluating and a couple more things. So let's just look at what I talked about last time. Let's just review really quick. Let's say I have 5 to the 5th power over 5 to the 4th. Now what we talked about, that means 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 over 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. What we can do is, if we were doing division, every one of these we would mark out, okay, because they equal 1. So that would make this actually be 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 5 over 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. Which is just going to be 5 over 1. So that would be the same as 5 over 1 equals 5. Well, we don't want to do all that. That takes too long. So what the quotient rule lets us do is we'll see if we get the same answer if we just take the base. Now, one of the main things you have to remember with all these rules is our bases have to be the same. Okay? So 5 to the 5th minus, okay, we just subtract. We still come up with 5 to the 1st power, which is exactly the same answer. Okay, all right, so that's just a little review of what we did last time. Okay, so what we're going to do this time is we're going to evaluate. Okay, so what we're going to do today is, let's say we have 3 to the 5th over divided by 3 squared, or either way, these are both the same. That's going to be 3 to the 5 minus 2, okay? That gives me 3 to the 3rd, but I want you to take that one more step, and that's 27. You should know what 3 to the 3rd power is. 3 times 3 times 3, okay? So if you're doing that on the calculator, if you didn't have the exponent button, so that's 27. This is here, stopping here is simplifying. Stopping that, going all the way out, that's evaluating. I told you that's the difference in the words, like if you were going to see it on a test. Raise your hand if you're excited about the fact that we're probably not going to have to do K-Prep this year. That's pretty awesome. No 8th grade K-Prep. That's great. Let's look at another example. One of the things I haven't really stressed enough doing these videos is different because I'm trying to keep the time down. So there's some things I've been leaving out. No negative exponents ever. So let's do one that's going to end with a negative exponent. So if we had, let's do 4 to the 4th divided by 4 to the 7th, okay, that would be 4 to the 4 minus 7, which would give us 4 to the negative 3rd. Now, we are not allowed to end with negative exponents. I showed you that last time. So what you would do here is you would do 1 over 4 to the 3rd, because the negative exponent rule says we can do that. if we go ahead and evaluate that, 1 over 4 to the third is 1 over 4 times 4 times 4, which is 1 to the 64th power. 4 times 4 is 16 times 4. Okay, so here I'll just simplify it. All right, so that's how that works. So you just write that out here. Oh wait, did I say 6? I think I made a mistake there, didn't I? So 4 times 4 is 16 times 4. No, that's right. Yeah, 64. Sorry. So that would be 1 over 64. You don't have to show this step if you don't want to. This is simplified. This is evaluated. Okay? Now, the big thing is here in evaluating is just making sure, don't make the mistake when you change to have that negative exponent. Make sure you check your math. If you have any questions, I think I'm just going to have 4 problems like that. Like I said, next week we have one more rule for exponents, so look for the assignment today, and I'll see you guys next week.